Familiar with who I am, my name is FaZe Crypto, and yeah, today we'll be talking about this technology and the future that's in store for Cardano in respect to the number 7 position that it currently occupies, and the future that might be in store as we continue to move forward. So we've talked about this before, how there's a lot of potential in store for technologies like Cardano that are really positioning themselves in a significant way, which is going to have a really big impact on the development of cryptocurrency as a space in general, along with a lot of the different developments that are happening involving the entire space as a whole. So there's a lot of really exciting things that are going on in regards to Cardano. Now, fundamentally, when I think about the current state of the cryptocurrency, well, of course, Bitcoin is of course still the king. We see the fact that Bitcoin occupies that number 1 position, and I mean, this is symptomatic of the way that things are. I mean, we've seen the development of this space, and of course we've seen a lot of the various different variables as they've come together. And yeah, I mean, we have Ethereum in the number 2 position, obviously crediting Ethereum for their smart contracts, and a lot of the different variables that have seemed to come together in Ethereum's favor. Now, when it comes to smart contracts, it's something really important to be said in the conversation that's to be had regarding Cardano and the potential that's in store for it moving forward. There seems to be a really growing community surrounding Cardano of people who otherwise may have not been interested in cryptocurrency, suddenly gaining an interest as we continue to see these developments happening regarding the space in general. Now, looking at the global market, of course, we're seeing a lot of upward mobility. In this past month, we've really come a long way from where we were back in April. Sure that there's a lot of people who are probably feeling pretty down on themselves because they were questioning the cryptocurrency market back in April, and now we're going through a trend where things seem to be looking pretty nicely. The nice renewal of confidence across the entire space, and it's nice to see the conversation regarding these technologies starting to recover. And this is also a testament to the fundamental fact of the matter is you have to stay updated regarding cryptocurrencies. You have to basically have news sources that are valid, and you can't really get too distracted by a lot of the nonsense that's out there. And this is easier said than done because cryptocurrency is such a volatile market, and those of us who've been involved with this for any amount of years, well, we've had time to do our research and basically develop and become educated, and it's always important to take your time and become educated on the technologies before jumping in. And basically it's all about confidence, it's all about education, and ultimately you have to remember, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. Everything that I say here is essentially, it's 100% my opinion, and it's important to really take disclaimers like that to and understand that sort of thing, because at the end of the day, when it comes to cryptocurrency, it's important for everybody to listen to different opinions, but of course you have to stay educated and understand where everybody stands. Now, I mean, I'm just a YouTuber, and everybody who's on YouTube talking about cryptocurrency, well, they're trying to get subscribers, they're trying to get comments, they're trying to get upvotes, and not exactly every single community out there that's growing on YouTube is necessarily prioritized around the facts, prioritized around trying to basically have the audience's best interests in mind. And when it comes to the way that I like to run this show, I think that it's important for everybody to really build a community on here that's supportive, and we can basically share information that's going to help us develop and stay confident and so forth. And when it comes to my opinion in regards to Cardano, I would say that there's a lot of potential in store for it, but you have to remember, take my opinion with a grain of salt, just like I'd recommend you take everybody's opinion with a grain of salt. I'm not your dad. I'm basically just here to give my opinion. And essentially moving forward, I think the developments that Cardano is really showing for itself are really becoming a key variable as we move forward, respectively, in terms of the totality of this space. And I'm really excited to see a lot of the different developments that are happening in regards to this technology. It's really definitely come a long way in such a short amount of time, and it's exciting to be seeing all the different developments that are happening on such a scale. When it comes to the timeline of cryptocurrencies, I bring up smart contracts in Ethereum because it really seems as if Cardano has the amount of time ahead of it as in terms of how developed they are as their own standalone technology, and then respectively in coordination with the rest of the crypto space, because you really have to understand that when it comes to these technologies, what happens to Bitcoin is eventually going to trickle down and send shockwaves through. I mean, if Bitcoin crashed, went down to like $5,000 or something, God forbid, it would send shockwaves through the entirety of all these different technologies on this list. And of course, it would affect the public consciousness, which is why I find it important to read the different news articles regarding these technologies. And yeah, so let's see what's good with Cardano. What's the news? Yeah, so news, just randomly. I like to do multiple ways of searching. I mean, obviously, just typing Cardano ADA into Google and clicking news. I find this is important because it gives an obvious indication of what the public consciousness understanding of Cardano actually is, and you don't really get more mainstream than just typing Cardano into Google because this is pretty much the most normie way of doing it, and I think that it's beneficial to some extent, but of course it's important to get different perspectives regarding these technologies, because when it comes to cryptocurrency, knowledge is definitely power. That's why I recommend everybody go and follow Cardano Foundation on their official Twitter, of course, because Twitter is a really great resource for news as well. If you don't have a Twitter, I'd recommend that you make one. This channel is actually on Twitter as well. The link is actually the first link in the description. That's at CryptoTuber. So if anybody's interested in connecting with us on Twitter, you can do so simply by, obviously clicking the link, whatever. But I mean, yeah, when it comes to Cardano, I'm definitely really excited in seeing the way that this technology will be developing in respect to the new paradigm that's being established within cryptocurrency. Because as I was saying, Bitcoin was essentially digital gold, the first, the introduction to the public when it came to digital currency and creating that sort of space where we'll be able to move forward. And then Ethereum, of course, with smart contracts, revolutionizing the possibilities that were in store for cryptocurrency. And now we've come to what I would term as the age of Cardano, because Cardano is really doing a lot of things that are that it's essentially doing everything. And I think if Cardano is successful in the long term, which I'm fairly confident that it will be, we could be seeing some really interesting things happening as the attention of the whole totality of the community turns and pays attention to this technology. So it is really interesting to see how these developments have been taking place. And yeah, I mean, it is interesting how we've been able to basically build this awesome community across this channel. And I think that everybody on here, we have some of the smartest people, and yeah, I mean, we have some of the smartest people, I think, in this community sharing information regarding these technologies, and I'm really excited to be at the forefront. And it's awesome the fact that cryptocurrency is so early. The fact of the matter is, you have to take into consideration the fact that basically this is still the beginning of a huge paradigm shift that's going to send shockwaves through multiple levels of society. And when I look at this list of top 10 cryptocurrencies, I have to think to myself, what are these technologies actually doing that's going to have a real world application? And when it comes to Cardano, I think that they definitely have that potential in front of them. And as we see the various different deals that are being made regarding this technology, and we see the way that the public consciousness has been adapting and moving forward in regards to the totality of the measurements that we see, the fact of the matter is that there really is a sort of a perfect storm brewing in regards to these technologies, and it's pretty exciting. So yeah, I definitely recommend everybody do research regarding Cardano. I'm actually including a link to this video down in the description by Blockchain, which talks about Cardano and goes into good detail regarding the potential for a bull run. And I really think that it's in store for the community. We're due for a good turn of basically the entire cryptocurrency community has been developing. Yeah, I mean, moving forward, I'm really excited about this technology, and it looks like we're starting to see a lot of I mean, I will definitely, yeah, I mean, it pretty much speaks for itself. I think anybody who's done their research is pretty much on the same page regarding basically the technical aspect of it. And I think that the two test nets, I mean, this is a really interesting article right here because you have to understand how these test nets are going to send an impact on the way of the functionality and of course the direction that they're headed. But I'm in particular excited about how the month of June is going to look in regards to Cardano, and the way that these various altcoins are going to be interacting with the community at large. And yeah, my analysis of Cardano is fundamentally data driven, and I find that it's important to look at the team that's working on these technologies, as well as look at how they're interacting with the world on a real fundamental basis. And I think all these different variables are going to come together as the next paradigm really asserts itself. So yeah, yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this stream, and I will see you guys in the next content. Have a good one.